Ahmed I was the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire from 1603 until his death in 1617. Reign. In the earlier part of his reign, Ahmed I showed decision and vigor, which were belied by his subsequent conduct. The wars which attended his accession both in Hungary and in Persia terminated unfavorably for the empire, and its prestige received its first check in the Treaty of Székely, signed in 1606, whereby the annual tribute paid by Austria was abolished. Following the crushing defeat in the Ottoman-Safavid War against the neighboring rivaling Safavid Empire led by Shah Abbas the Great, Georgia, Azerbaijan and other vast territories in the Caucasus were ceded back to Persia per the Treaty of Nasir Pasha in 1612, territories which had earlier been temporarily conquered but the outcoming result of the Ottoman-Safavid War. The new borders were drawn per exactly the same line as confirmed in the Peace of Amasya of 1555. Personal life. Ahmed I's mother was Valide Handan Sultan, an ethnic Greek who was originally named Helena. He was born at Manisa Palace. He succeeded his father Mehmed III in 1603 at age 13. He broke with the traditional fratricide and sent his brother Mustafa to live at the old palace at Bayezid along with their grandmother Safiya Sultan. He was known for his skills in fencing, poetry, horseback riding, and fluency in numerous languages. A half-brother of Ahmed, Yahya, resented his accession to the Ottoman throne in 1603, and spent his life scheming to become sultan. Ahmed was a poet who wrote a number of political and lyrical works under the name Bati. But while supportive of poetry, he displayed an aversion to artistry and continued his father's neglect of miniature painting. This was connected to a devout religiosity that declared depiction of living things in art and a moral rivalry to Allah's creation. Accordingly, Ahmed patronized scholars, calligraphers, and pious men. Hence he commissioned a book entitled The Quintessence of Histories to be worked upon by calligraphers. He also attempted to enforce conformance to Islamic laws and traditions, restoring the old regulations that prohibited alcohol, and he attempted to enforce attendance at Friday prayers and paying alms to the poor in the proper way. He was responsible for the destruction of the musical clock organ that Elizabeth I of England sent to the court during the reign of his father. The reason for this may have been Ahmed's religious objection to figurative art, or the fact that the complex organ served as a daily reminder of the waxing influence and power of the West. Ahmed I died of typhus in 1617. Marriages an issue. Sultan Ahmed I was married twice. Valide Sultan Mufiruz Hattus Sultan, originally named Hattus, a Circassian, daughter of Prince Mirza Valkos Bey and mother of Osman II. Valide Sultan Marpika Kossum Sultan, originally named Anastasia, a Greek, daughter of a priest on the island of Tinos and the mother of Muradevi. Ibrahim I, Fatma Sultan, Gevran Sultan, Aisha Sultan, Hanzada Sultan, Sayed Suleiman and Sayed Qasim. Legacy. Today, Ahmed I is remembered mainly for the construction of the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, one of the masterpieces of Islamic architecture. The area in Fatih around the mosque is today called Sultanahmet. He died at Topkapi Palace in Istanbul and is buried in a mausoleum right outside the walls of the famous mosque. In popular culture, in the 2015 TV series Muhteşem Yüzyıl, Kossum Ahmed I is portrayed by Turkish actor Erkan Koç. Children. Sons Osman II, Sayed Mehmed, Sayed Cihangir, Sayed Süleyman, Sayed Selim, Muradevi, Sayed Hasan, Sayed Bayezid, Sayed Orhan, Sayed Huzia, Sayed Qasim. Ibrahim. Daughters Aisha Sultan, Fatma Sultan, Gevher Sultan, Hanzada Sultan, Zaidu Sultan, Esma Sultan, Hattis Sultan, Zeynep Sultan, Atik Sultan, Ubaid Sultan,